Yeah, so Congressman, it doesn't get any easier once they do have a speaker in place, obviously. The Wall Street Journal points out what we've been talking about. The tight math means for the early months of Trump's presidency, Republicans may not be able to afford more than one no vote, a daunting task for party leaders in a conference that often features intra-party brawls and is trying to pass an ambitious tax and immigration agenda. So practically speaking, what's a speaker, whether it's Johnson or someone else, to do?
Well, I think the next Republican speaker is going to have Hakeem Jeffries on speed dial because they're probably going to need him. As we've seen many times, Republicans have had a dysfunctional majority in the House for the past few years. Now, with Donald Trump as president, that dysfunction may be a little bit less because Trump can lean on them. But just remember, there are 30-some votes in the House, and we saw this just a couple of weeks ago with the continuing resolution discussion. There are 30-some Republicans who are never going to vote for continuing resolutions to fund the government or appropriations bills or debt ceilings. So they're going to need Democrats to help them in the House on any number of issues. So they have to get ready for that and just accept it. But that's always been the challenge in the House Republican Conference. The hardliners don't like to do compromise, particularly in divided government. But now that we have one-party government, Republicans controlling the House, Senate, and presidency, that might help them a bit. But again, there's always going to be a few people who aren't going to be able to support the agenda. And it might not just be hardliners this time. It could be people more from the center, who do not want to maybe support something too hardline because they have to worry about general elections. So the fractures could come in a lot of different directions going forward.
So, Megan, what is the role of House Democrats come 2025, and do they hold a lot of power?
Yeah, I think they hold an incredible amount of power. I think that they hold the ability to get anything done. So if they're willing to compromise on things that are good legislation for the working class families and the American people, I think you'll see the Democrats voting with the Republicans. But I don't think that the continuing resolution and the way that the Republicans negotiated that and then reneged on their negotiations is a good start for the next Congress. I think that leaves Hakeem Jeffries in a spot of a little bit of anxious to do negotiating because it just, they weren't good faith actors. So I do think that we could have a stalemate until the midterm elections when the Democrats could win overwhelmingly.
Oh, boy, it's going to be a fun 2025. Congressman Charlie Dent, thank you. Megan.